Hey everyone, today I'm going to be counting down my top 10 superhero movies and TV shows that tackled real-life issues. Now, I am using the term issues a little vaguely, but I'm not going to be including movies or shows that dealt with real-life events. Partially because I don't even know if there are any, and if so, how many. I'm also not going to be including the death of one or more parents or parental figures, because that's every superhero ever except Aquaman. Lucky bastard. I also don't necessarily have a single set of criteria I'm judging these on because it really depends on the issue. Some of them will be based on how realistically they're portrayed, some of them will be based on whether they're portrayed in a positive or negative light, and so on and so forth. So hang in there, I hope this will make sense. Number 10. Government corruption. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Look, government corruption is a tale as old as time. Or at least as old as the concept of government. Ancient China, the Roman Empire, the United States of America, you name it. Now, based on my limited knowledge, the Winter Soldier gives us a fairly realistic portrayal of it. If you're a little parasite group, growing inside of a big organization, you don't necessarily have to control the majority, you just have to control the right positions. And for the people not involved, once you find out, you don't know who you can trust. Anyone could be the enemy.
I'm not going to launch those ships. Captain's orders.
Move away from your station.
Like he said. Captain's orders.
You picked the wrong side, Agent.
Depends on where you're standing.
Even your best friend that you've known since day one could be working with the enemy. There are even some characters from previous MCU movies who are revealed to be Hydra, like Senator Stern, the dude from Iron Man 2 who wanted to take away Tony's weapons.
Mr. Stark, please.
Yes, dear.
Can I have your attention?
Absolutely.
Do you or do you not possess a specialized weapon?
I do not.
You do not.
I do not. Well, it depends on how you define the word weapon.
The Iron Man weapon.
My device does not fit that description.
It's a weapon. It's a weapon, Mr. Stark. I hate
Please,
to inform
if
you.
your
It's a
priority
weapon.
was actually the well-being
No, my
of
priority
the
is to get the
American
Iron Man
citizen,
weapon turned over to the people of the United States of America.
well, you can forget it.
Remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. Number 9. Co-parenting and foster families. Ant-Man and the Wasp and Shazam. If I've learned one thing from movies, it's that step-parents and foster parents are awful people. Or at least that's what most movies seem to want you to think. Thankfully, there are exceptions, like these movies. The first Ant-Man dealt with this a little bit, but that was mostly about Scott redeeming himself. Ant-Man and the Wasp goes out of its way to portray co-parenting and families where the parents have split up and remarried in a positive light. Scott and his ex-wife are split up, but they clearly still respect each other, they clearly still care about each other. Scott gets along with her new husband, and most importantly, they all care about the kid, and her happiness is their priority, and also safety and stuff like that. Likewise, Shazam goes out of its way to portray foster families in a positive light. Billy's foster parents are warm and welcoming and helpful, and their home is a supporting and loving environment.
I can't even with Eugene right now. Sorry. Mary, hi. College interview.
I'm Billy.
What am I most excited about? Oh, what a great question. I was hoping you'd ask.
Mention you're a foster kid. Colleges eat that up.
What I'm most excited about is the campus experience. As a foster child, I'm a big believer in finding family and friends in the most unlikely of places.
It's wonderful, and it's such a shame that more movies don't try to do this. Number 8. Dissociative identity disorder. Split and Doom Patrol. Look, I realize that Split is not the most accurate depiction of DID, I really do. But, in its defense, there are quite a few things it gets right, and everything it gets wrong, I won't say it's forgivable, because for people with DID it might not be, but it's understandable because it's not meant to be a completely accurate depiction of DID. It is a supervillain origin story masquerading as a horror movie. And like I said, there are plenty of things it gets right.
Dr. Fletcher. Dr. Fletcher. Who did that?
I swear I was on a bus. I don't remember anything after that. This is still September 18, 2014, right?
The fact that, like different people, not all of Kevin's personalities are good or bad. And even the worst one, the Beast, isn't necessarily evil. Like, the Beast and Dennis and Patricia aren't necessarily evil. It's just that their beliefs have led them to do bad things because they believe they're doing the right thing, like some people. And Hedwig isn't necessarily evil. He's 9 years old, and kids are easy to manipulate. But for anyone who wasn't a fan of the portrayal in Split, there's Doom Patrol. When I first watched this show, Crazy Jane quickly became one of my favorite superheroes. Like, well, every other movie and show, they do take some liberties, but most of them can be attributed to the fact that she has superpowers. Like the fact that when she changes personalities, her physical appearance changes. You can just chalk that up to being part of her powers. It is a very human and humane portrayal of the disorder. Like James McAvoy, Diane Guerrero is fantastic.
Jane, I know you've been through a lot.
Jane is in here right now.
Shut up! Stop! Jane!
Don't fucking touch me!
Oh, please touch me.
Please touch me.
Oh my gosh. I know who you are. You're Cyborg.
And the show gives us a very in-depth look into her mind.
Get off me!
Playtime's over, Karen. You've had your fun.
Hurry up! What do you think I'm paying you for? You don't pay me. You don't even exist. We're just a clever visual metaphor used to personify the abstract concept of thought. One more crack like that and you're out of here. No, please! I have 3 kids.
Each personality has a reason for existing. It serves a purpose. Jane's childhood was all kinds of fucked up. And from that trauma came these split personalities to help protect her. Number 7, alcoholism. Hancock and Jessica Jones. I haven't seen Hancock in a while, so I don't remember how in-depth it goes with the dude's alcoholism, but from what I remember, it does at least tackle the subject in a relatively intelligent and mature way. I'll have to watch it again to verify that, but still. But that was really just included because it was in the movie. The bigger fish here is Jessica Jones. When we first meet Jessica in episode 1, she's a mess. Superpowered private detective by day, alcoholic by night. She goes to her local liquor store and buys the cheapest booze they have to dull down and tune out her inner demons.
I'll take the bourbon. Cheapest one you got.
It's a major struggle for her, and I appreciate the realism that she's never completely over it. We see her struggling with it throughout the whole show, at least from what I can remember.
Controlled by someone else, but she's just another weak and
Give me something I can use. You can't ingest fentanyl. Such an idiot. He'll be all right. He's too stubborn to die.
Ace PI.
Suppose I gotta look at that.
Speaking of Jessica Jones, number 6, post-traumatic stress disorder, Iron Man 3 and Jessica Jones. Look, say what you will about Iron Man 3. It gave us a very realistic and authentic portrayal of PTSD. Prior to the climax of the Avengers, whenever Tony went into danger, he always had a backup plan, a way out, a back door. When he went through that portal, he was expecting a one-way trip. He had no way out. He wasn't expecting to survive, and he did his best to accept it. So of course surviving is gonna mess him up. He has trouble sleeping because of nightmares.
Tony.
He has anxiety attacks. There are certain things that trigger him, like mentioning the Battle of New York, specifically the portal.
Okay. Broke the crayon.
Are you okay, Mr. Stark?
Take it easy. Tell me.
How did you get out of the wormhole?
Wait a minute. Tony! What did you say? Tony. Sorry. Just check out the suit. Check the heart, is it the brain?
No sign of cardiac anomaly or unusual brain activity.
Okay, so it's poison?
My diagnosis is that you've experienced a severe anxiety attack.
Jessica Jones gives us a different kind of PTSD. She didn't go through a near-death experience per se, she went through, like, the ultimate abusive relationship. Literal mind control.
I had waited so long for that moment. For one single opportunity to get away from you.
It's getting chilly. Let's go in. I'll clean this up and we'll continue inside.
All right, darling.
Jessica, come in, darling. Come down from there. What revisionist bullshit?
I remember everything.
You didn't jump.
Because I wasn't fast enough.
Come down now, Jessica. Why don't you listen to me?
Because I don't want to.
If you don't listen to me, what is the point of having ears? Answer me.
To listen to someone else.
You never appreciate anything I do for you. If you can't listen to me, you don't need ears. Cut them off. Stop. It's all right. It's all right. I'm here, Jessica. I'll always be here. You wanted to stay with me, admit it.
You admit this.
and it goes hand in hand with her alcoholism. She drinks the cheapest booze she can get to numb the pain so she can sleep at night. It's kind of heartbreaking. Number 5. Legal and financial consequences. The Incredibles franchise. Here's something you almost never see in superhero movies, and I have so much respect for Brad Bird because he included them. In The Incredibles, Mr. Incredible sees a dude falling down from a building and leaps across the street, tackles him through a window to save him.
I still got time!
I think you broke something. Well, with counseling, I think you'll come to forgive me.
He injures him in the process, but he saved him, only to have the man sue him for the injuries because the dude is actually trying to commit suicide. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that when I was a kid, and that's probably for the best. Seriously, name any other superhero movie, show, comic book, video game, anything where a hero is sued for causing injury to a person while trying to thwart their suicide attempt. In Incredibles 2, Elastigirl is selected for a mission over Mr. Incredible because she has a history of causing less collateral damage. And it's not just a throwaway line. When she needs to break a window, she throws a chair out of it, and if you watch closely, you can see the chair land on the roof of a building across the street instead of falling to the street below and potentially hurting someone. Number 4. Logistics. The Dark Knight Trilogy. Here's something else you almost never see. In most versions of Batman, they never explain or show where he gets all his wonderful toys. They also never explain how the hell they built the Batcave without having to pay hush money to dozens or hundreds of workers. In Christopher Nolan's version, they actually give us kind of a behind-the-scenes look at all that. Most versions of the Batsuit have the cowl that looks cool, but it prevents him from turning his head. It looks cool, but it's totally impractical. Now, in any other movie, they would have just had him do a costume change off-screen, either just during a time skip or in between two movies, and they would just call it good. Instead, in The Dark Knight, Bruce goes to Lucius and asks him for an upgrade.
Anything else you can trouble me for?
I need a new suit.
Yeah, 3 buttons is a little 90s, Mr. Wayne.
I'm not talking fashion, Mr. Fox, so much as function.
You want to be able to turn your head.
It sure made backing out of the driveway easier.
I'll see what I can do.
When Bruce and Alfred are building the Batsuit and the various tools he's going to use, they order each part through a different company, and they order like 10,000 of each one so that no one will get suspicious.
We ordered the main part of this cow from Singapore.
Via Dummy Corporation.
Indeed. And then quite separately, we place an order to a Chinese company for these.
Put it together ourselves.
Precisely. They'll have to be large orders to avoid suspicion.
How large?
Say, 10,000.
Well, at least we'll have spares.
Yes.
And the bat ears actually serve a purpose instead of just being an aesthetic choice. They function as antenna. Number 3, Alzheimer's. Logan. There are so many reasons I love Logan, but this is one of the biggest ones. Charles is sick, but not from some fictional ailment. He doesn't have the super flu, he doesn't have the mutant virus, he doesn't have anything like that. He has fucking Alzheimer's.
A degenerative brain disease in the world's most dangerous brain. What a combo.
A year ago, he had a seizure and accidentally killed several of the X-Men. And now he and Logan are in hiding. Throughout the movie, we see how much he's suffering. He's confused, disoriented. He knows who Logan is, but he doesn't always recognize him. One of the few times we see him have what alcoholics refer to as a moment of clarity, and the only time we see him consciously use his powers is after the incident on the highway when he calms the horses down so that their owners can get them to safety. And one of our last moments with him is when he finally realizes that Logan isn't the reason they're in hiding. He is. And it breaks my heart. Number 2, depression. Avengers Endgame. Consider this the second movie to tackle the idea of worldwide depression, the first being Children of Men. The biggest question is seen in graffiti. What do we do now that they're gone? Fat Thor is the most obvious example of depression.
You go, the sports are all kind of fuzzy and whatnot. Thor? Oh my god! Oh my god, it's so good to see you!
And I'm sick of people with the complaint that the others just poked fun at him, because no. There were like 1 or 2 jokes made at his expense, and I think they were both from Rocket. Otherwise, he is an all-too-real portrayal of just how much you can let yourself go when you're depressed, and how dealing with so much guilt can just break you.
Come on, we gotta go. 3, 2...
Oh, wait!
What am I looking at?
Oh, sometimes it takes a second.
I'm still worthy.
The moment right before Hulk snaps, we see Thor wanting to do it, begging to do it, even after Tony tells him, no, dude, it'll kill you. And he knows, he doesn't care. He just wants to do something right. It is heartbreaking. And Thor is clearly not the only one struggling with depression. He's just the one who is most obviously struggling with it. The others are all broken in their own ways and clearly signaling it. The signs are there if you pay attention. That brings us to Natasha Romanoff, more specifically, her hair. Quick note, I'm getting a lot of this from an article written by Alicia Grosso. I really hope I said that right. Who is a woman who clearly knows a lot more about this than I do, so I'm putting a link to her article in the description because you all need to read it. Anyway, throughout the MCU, Natasha has been a rock. Things faze her, but nothing breaks her. At least she's still functioning, right? Wrong. She is very much broken, and her hair is the biggest tell.
Your laundry?
Good to see you, friend.
Clearly your friend is fine.
To quote Miss Grosso's article, see, women, we're vain about our hair. Most of us, anyway. Our hair is a weather vane that indicates which way our emotional weather is blowing. Drastic hair changes usually indicate some upheaval in life or a major new direction. I've often joked with my straight male friends that if they're experiencing relationship issues and their girlfriend or wife chops off all her hair or undergoes a drastic color change, be prepared to get dumped or experience some turbulence. Likewise, when women are going through a tough time or depressed, neglect of our hair is often the indicator that inside we're quietly waving the white flag. The formerly always put together, flawless Natasha letting her hair go to seed is as much a sign of depression as Thor's beer gut. The first time I watched that scene, I thought, oh, girl, no, you are so not okay, are you? I got it. There's more to it than that, but I don't want to make this video any longer than it has to be, so that link is in the description. Please check it out. Number 1, a little bit of everything. The Boys. This may seem like a little bit of a cheat, but I honestly couldn't narrow it down to a couple specific issues because there are so many. The Boys is essentially a critique of how superheroes are usually portrayed, and it deals with issues that would happen if they existed in real life, along with some that already exist that superheroes would not be exempt from. We have sexual harassment in the workplace, with Translucent being a peeping Tom in the ladies' room. We have sexual assault in the workplace when the Deep manipulates Starlight into blowing him. We have the people we are supposed to trust to protect us and enforce the law getting special and unfair immunity when they break the law.
Don't you ever besmirch Billy Joe?
I can't stop.
We have morally corrupt individuals being portrayed as heroes by the media.
Okay,
take everybody one by one. You fly them to the ground.
Come back 123 times? Maeve, think. We're done here.
Please.
Everything's fine, guys. Everything's fine. You're okay.
Wait, you're leaving us?
No. I'm just seeing something down the back.
We have the hypocrisy of certain religious individuals. We have, well, certain interpersonal relationships that Freud would have a goddamn field day with. There's so much more, and that's just from season 1. Hey everyone, let me know what you think. What are some movies or shows you think I should have included? What are some that you think shouldn't have been included? Like and subscribe and all that, and if you don't like the video, subscribe anyway so you can tell me how bad my other stuff is. That's all for today. Stay safe in these crazy times.